So start off with your name.
Okay. My name is Tarcila. Maiden name is Sandoval, or Sandoval, and married name is Cruz.
Okay.
I'm 70 years old.
70.
70. So I got all this white hair.
Okay. So you used to work here in the union. Can you say what union and what year you started?
So I say it must have been 1977. After I graduated from Lamson's Business College, I was looking for a job. I had a job, I lost it because of it was the year that my dad passed away. When I came back from Mexico, I applied again, and I applied like 10 different places, but I found a job with the union. It is called Local 383. It's an international union, laborers union, Local 383, and it was located in, I think it's still there, on 512 West Adams in Phoenix, Arizona. So it was kind of in the central part of Phoenix. I was working in a business office, clerk, cashier, secretary, doing all kinds of works, everything that I'd like to do.
Okay, and who was the head of that union?
Okay, at that time when I started with them, there was, we had business manager, and the business manager was then Bill Soltero, which his real name was William Soltero. He was the business manager for Local 383. There were 3 or 4 different parts of divisions within the office. There was that dispatch, where every member would come and pick up their work order to go out and work. And there was the business office where we would keep all their paperwork. And it was the manager's office, which was upstairs. So it was like 3 different. And we had the lawyers also from Local 383 at that time, which was all kind of in the back, or on the other side of the street, on 4th Avenue. Yeah.
So I heard the story about a member that kind of tried to get one over you about his dues. So I want to know about that story.
Oh, the one that took my money?
Yeah.
Yes. The members, to be a member for the union, you needed to pay dues. And these were quarterly dues. So 4 times a year they had to come and pay. And I don't remember exactly how much money, but it was, I'll say like $300 or so quarterly. They could do it month, but it was more like quarterly when they would all come and pay to keep their membership in order for them to go to work. And one occasion, I was pregnant. It was 1978. I was pregnant. I was tired. It was about 2:00, and this member came around and said he wanted to go to work, but he didn't have money for his dues. And I said, well, I can't. There's nothing I can do. If dispatch tells you need to pay, you need to pay. I cannot give you a receipt if you haven't paid. So somehow he went and got the money, which was because he was, at that time he was suspended. He needed to get reinstated, and to be reinstated was more money. So it was about, I'll say about $800 that he needed to pay. So he came about 4:00, just before we closed, and he said, yeah, I'm ready to pay for my dues. So I took care of him, and I said, okay, give me your membership card. And in our office we had a window with just, it was like, I had only like a circle place where I could stick my hand and get the money or the card or whatever, their membership card. We didn't have the technology that we have now. Like I said, this was 1977, 1978. And the member came, I said to him when I pulled out his membership card, and I said, it's so much money. He's like, oh, okay. Because he had given me his card. And in order for me to take the money, I had to ring it into an old kind of a cashier machine for me to pull out a receipt for him. I don't know how. Like I said, I must have been tired. After I rang his dues, his money, I put the receipt and he grabbed it. And I didn't realize he had not given me the money. And he took off. By 5 o'clock, I had to do a count of my money, of how much I had done during the day. Every secretary, every clerk had their own box. So I pulled out the box, and exactly the amount that was missing was the one that he was supposed to pay me. And I was like, oh no, he didn't pay me. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. So I went to talk to dispatch, and good thing that we get along with every girls and boys that work there. And I said, Mary, this is what happened. So and so came in and he took his receipt. He says, oh, good. He says he doesn't have his work order yet until tomorrow morning. And I said, so we made a plan. You give me the work order. Mary, her name was Mary. Give me the work order. When he comes to pick it up, tell him to come and see me. By that time, I had to tell the accountant what had happened. We called Bill Soltero, and I said, Bill, this is what happened. And he was kind of mad at me, but he wasn't so bad. He was mad, and I said, yeah, I know it's my fault, but he should have paid me. But this is the plan that we have. He said, good, you have a plan for him. So tomorrow, don't give him the work order unless he brings you the money. Sure enough, next day he came. I was there early, 7 o'clock in the morning. That's when they would come and pick up their work order. And he said he went to Mary, and Mary says, no, you have to go to the business office. The work order is over there. So he came over, and I said, I didn't say you took my money. I said, do you have your receipt that you paid yesterday? He's like, yes. I said, can I see it? So he pulled it out, and I said, give it to me. I said, I want to check it. He says, you took it. I said, well, let me see it. When he pulled it out and put it there, I took it out, brought it to me, and I said, you cannot have a work order. You did not pay me yesterday. Oh, I sure did. You have my receipt. I said, yes, I have your receipt, but you didn't bring me the money. You didn't leave me the money. So he was all upset, and I said, look, I have your work order. I have your receipt. You cannot prove to me that I paid you, but I can prove you with my machine that you did not pay me. So he was kind of upset, and we called Bill Soltero, who was a business manager, like I said. He came down, and in front of him, I said, this is what happened. And he just cussed at him. It's like, you know, man, they would call brothers. Brother, you didn't pay my secretary. You took advantage of her. Look at her, she's pregnant. You took advantage of her. You cannot take the work order. She has your receipt. When you bring the money, she goes, hey, don't lie to me, don't lie to her. You need to bring the money. Oh, the man was almost crying. He's like, says, well, did you pay her? He's like, no, I didn't. I took the money because I needed to pay for my rent. He says, okay, brother, you have till 4 o'clock today. Your work can wait for you till tomorrow. So he left almost crying. About noon, he came back. He brought a can of coffee, Folgers coffee, red one. And he had all these coins, and he had money all dirty, and like I said, I was praying with the girls in the office, like, Tarcy, don't touch the money. And they brought up bottles of alcohol, and they poured it into the money before I could cut it, because we had to count the money, make sure I had the amount that I needed was a lot of money, 800 and some. He says, you made me sell my car. I said, no, I didn't make you. You took my money. You were taking advantage of me. So somehow he paid me.
Sanitizing the money like COVID.
Yeah, we sanitized the money. Oh, it took us a good 2 hours to count all the quarters and nickels and pennies, and it was a lot of money that we had to count. I asked the girls to help me count all the money. So like 3 girls helped me. So that was the story. But Bill always stood up for me, even though he knew I was wrong. There was another time that he also yelled at me, but not in front of the member, because he knew I had made a wrong. But I didn't make that many wrong decisions. He liked me. They all liked me in the office because I was quick to learn. I was quick to do my job. So I was just a worker then. Then later, like we can talk later about it, I became the business manager of that office because I learned everything a manager in an office could learn. And I was like, I wasn't proud of it, but yeah, I was happy. I was happy that I was able to learn all that.
Okay, so working at the union, what other stories can you tell me there?
Well, I can tell you robberies, about the men they brought. Oh, I was still pregnant, and this person came, and he knew that we handled a lot of money. We were like a bank, because all the members would come quarterly. They would come and bring money. People would get lined. They would line up big lines to come and pay their dues on the last minute, so they could continue with their membership. So they knew we had money in our office. And one day, I said, I think they're called them truants, los que caminan alrededor nomás, like trying to rob me.
Transits, yeah.
A transit. He said, and he came and he's like, hey. So I came I went to the window, and we called the window, and I said, yes, can I help you? He's like, yes, open the door. And we would never open the door not even for our manager. Nobody would come through our office, through our front office. We had a back door where everybody would come with a. They had to have a sign to come in. So this time, this guy is like, open the door, and he goes, open the door and hand me the money. And I said, sorry, I'm not gonna open it. And here I am, like behind the desk, and the other workers were looking at me like, Darcy. I said, well, he can do whatever. And I said, do you realize right across from us, which is Channel 10, and next block it's the police? He says, so you wouldn't call the police on me? I said, no, I'm not, but you're not going to go too far. He goes, open the door or I'm going to shoot you. And I just stood there like very calm. I said, you can go ahead and do whatever you have to, but I cannot open the door for you. Orders. You want me to call my manager so he can come and open the door for you? And at that time, the girls someone had in the office had a button on under their desk that they would just push it so the police would come. So like I said, we were right there, and Esther must have pushed the button on with her shoe. And as we were talking, I was trying to keep him calm. We heard the sirens, which were just around, and he just got out and started running. They caught him at the corner. He was caught. But that's another little story that it was kind of scary afterwards, because everybody was like, weren't you scared? I said, I was scared, but what was I going to do? We have orders for not to open the door. If anybody wants to come in, they have to go through dispatch, and we had a side door between the dispatch and the business office. We had a hallway, and that was a side door to go in, to go talk to the manager, to talk to a businessman, a special, and they had to come in with a special permission to go in.
So now you know you couldn't open the door, and then somebody else came and you couldn't open the door.
Oh yes, as a worker, you hear of a lot of people, international people. They would come. People is very important. People that would come from Washington, and they would come, and they knew they could not get in through the front door. So one day, I guess I was like, this was my second year into the union, and I had always seen these big posters that would say, "No graves," something to do with agriculture, but I never paid much attention. It had the name of Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, and I was like, I didn't know who they were. So one day, this guy came. He was kind of brown skin, a little bit rough. And he says, he came to the door, to the window, and I said, "Hey, can I help you?" He's like, "Yes, I came to see Bill Soltero." And I said, "May I have your name?" He goes, "My name is Cesar Chavez." And it didn't ring me who he was. And I said, "Cesar Chavez," I said, let me tell him that you're here. And I said, "But if you need to talk to him, you need to go through the side door. We'll open the back door for you so you can go in. But let me announce you first." So I called upstairs and talked to the secretary. I said, "There's some man here. His name is Cesar Chavez. He wants to talk to Bill Soltero." And I guess they called Bill, and Bill came running down. He's like, and Cesar was still there. I was telling him, "You have to go around. As soon as they tell me, someone will open the door for you." Soltero came down fast. He's like, "Oh, brother!" He opened the front door like for nobody else he would open. He came out and they hugged and they like were cheering on each other, and I was like, "What's going on?" He goes, "Come on in, brother, come on in." He lets him in through the front door, and I was like, I just told him no. And he's like, "Girl," he called me Tarcy. "You know who this man is?" I said, "No, his name is Cesar Chavez." Cesar Chavez is a leader for the campesinos. And I'm like, okay. So it's like, he is like the president of the United States. Next time he comes, don't even call me. Don't say, you open the door for him. And I was like, but you had said, no. He comes in through the front door. He is like if you were gonna open the door for the president of the United States. So Cesar came in and he just says, "I'm sorry, mija, I didn't know, you didn't know." I said, "I don't know, I'm new. I don't know who you are." From then on, I started following Cesar a little bit more. I learned a little bit more about him because I was like, he didn't really like cheer me for not opening the door, but he did say, next time he comes, don't wait. Open the door immediately for him. So later on, I learned that when they had, they would call it pickets, which is, they would like, you know what a picket is? When all the members, they would go, like if they were spraying the grapes at that time with some bad spray, they would harm the workers. Pesticides, yeah. And the members, there was a union, a farmers union, and the members would go and walk out from work, and the construction workers would go stand for them too. And Cesar Chavez was there, and Bill Soltero was there, whoever the business manager, all the businessmen, they would all get together, they would get their signs, and they would walk like, ¿cómo se dice when they're like, when like now, like they're like,
Picket.
yeah,
Demonstrate.
picketing, demonstrators for, about not, don't spray the grapes with that insecticide. They would harm the workers. So I learned a lot more about Cesar. I saw him in more different occasions, and I knew that the next time that he would come, I didn't even have to ask him, "Who are you?" I was like, "Hi, Senor Cesar Chavez." He was real nice. He was down to earth with me, and he will probably always remember what I'm remembering now. And it's been a long time, 40 years ago, 42. How old are you?
40.
Yeah, 40, 42. So.